Hey folks, welcome to Testing Hacks. So today we will understand what is defect life cycle. Majorly in the career of a software tester, defect plays an important role because finding a defect is the one major thing as part of the software tester life. So it actually helps you to grow your career as well. Finding a defect is really a major part that any software tester has to do. And also it depends on the analytical skill and analytical thinking of this tester. So rather than only testing the application with positive set of test cases, also negative test cases plays an important role in finding a defect. So let's begin. So before we begin, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. So let's begin. First, let's try to understand what is defect. So, defect is also known as bug. Okay, so defect is a deviation in expectation. A software bug arises when the expected result don't match with the actual results, which means that you are given with a software as well as a requirement. So what you will do, you will first analyze the requirement and see what all the requirement states has been given, what conditions are there, and how you can test. And parallelly, you will prepare the test cases. That is another case. While executing your test cases, you will start doing the validations. In that case, if you find that some particular validation is missing, suppose say even though if you enter wrong email address, the system is accepting, so which is not actually as per the requirement, and also analytically it is completely a wrong thing, right? So that is where the defect comes into picture. Then you will raise it as a defect, and then the defect will undergo certain number of stages. Okay, so which is also known as defect, is which is nothing but it is a deviation in the expectation. Let's see what are the major causes of a defect to occur. Even though there are other reasons for a defect to occur, these are major causes that you have to keep in mind while testing. So, one is missed implementation, wrong implementation, additional implementation, and human error. When we say missed implementation, the requirement says that the page should have username, password, email address, date of birth, and then login button. And some other fields are being specified in the requirement, but the developer do not find the email address field and he misses it. So okay, in that case, while you testing it, you will feel that has been missed and you will log a defect. So that is nothing but the missed implementation. But when it comes to wrong implementation, the developer in the last example what I gave you, right, in place of date of birth, okay, he has misimplemented, or the label he has given is phone number, which is completely a wrong thing. So which means that it is a wrongly implemented part, so you will again go and raise a defect on that. Next is additional implementation. Additional implementation is a case where the developer has added additional functionalities or feature to this particular requirement, but which is not actually part of this requirement. Okay, if say that the requirement has been given to design a page where it consists of username, password, a date of birth, email address, um, and other buttons as well, but instead of sign in or sign up, along with sign in and sign up he might have given some other feature like a cancel button, some other feature he might have added by mistake. Okay, so that leads to the additional implementation. And next, finally, we have human error. Human error is a case where the user is nothing but the testers. We testers are not sure about the feature or functionality, how it actually works, and the data we are providing could be wrong. In that case also it leads to erroneous, okay, which instantly we feel that it is a defect, but it can be or cannot be also. We will see this in part of defect life cycle then. So that is the major causes of defects. So let's see what are the different stages a defect undergo. First we have when we find the defect, that leads to the status called new, or else it can be a open status too. Okay, so where you have found a defect, right now the current status of the defect is new. And next, what you will do, when you open the defect in the tool, there are several tools like QC and then Jira. There are lot many test management tools that they use, and also defect management tools that real time people will use. Okay, it differs. Actually, the status differs from one company to another company and one tool to another tool. Okay, so this is in general. So first, very freshly, when you have found the defect, that status will be new, and you have logged the defect for it. And once you log a defect, then you will assign it. You, in the sense, it can be you, or else sometimes what happens, the lead, the technical lead will lead, assign the particular defect to the developer. So once the developer has been assigned to that particular defect, he will work on that defect and resolve it, and he will fix the defect. Okay, so once he fixes the defect, what happens, again it will be reassigned to the testers who has raised the defect. Okay, so now it's our responsibility to retest the defect and make sure that if it is working fine or not. If it is working fine, what we will do, we will close the defect. That is one straight flow. Okay, so we will close the defect. But in case, see that if the defect is still there, okay, then what you will do, you will reopen the defect. Okay, so this is the state where you will retest and then reopen the defect if you find that the defect has not been fixed. Okay, and once it is reopened, what will happen, then again you will assign it back to the developer so that he will again give a work on it and give the fix for it. So that is actual process. But we can see that there are other four statuses that I have mentioned here. So generally what happens, suppose I said that because of human error there can be a state where that has caused the error, right, because of human error or test data error. So in that case, if the developer is not able to reproduce that issue, what he will do, he will say that it is not a bug, or he can even reject the defect too. Okay, so in initial state itself they will reject the bug, saying that this is not a valid bug, or this cannot be a bug. Okay, and duplicate is the state where if already another tester has opened the defect for the same and you have also opened the same defect, then the status will be changed to duplicate, and then that will be closed. That defect will be closed, saying that it is a duplicate defect. And deferred is a state where you have found a defect, but that needs to be fixed, but not instantly. That can be released as part of next release, because it might take little more time to do analysis. In that case, what they will do, they will defer the defect, and then that will be taken into the next sprint, and the people will work on it on the next sprint and give the fix for it. Okay, so these are the different set of status we have in uh, defect life cycle. So this is about the defect life cycle. If you like the video, please like the video, do share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.